Welcome to BreakTheBoardSports.com. This is your boy RJ Cash going through our Friday MLB rundown. Go through all the games quick hitter style, give you all the trends on those games. Again, if you'd like your own quick hitter notes for football, go to BreakTheBoardSports.com. Click on the notes blog section. Have quick hitter notes all of week 2 NFL for the early slate of games is already loaded in there. We'll have the rest loaded in today. College football gets loaded in there. Also, we got an awesome short you don't want to miss coming up with primetime college games. So we're going to be breaking down Texas A&M and Notre Dame, along with that LSU-Florida matchup. So a lot of good stuff coming. Again, breaktheboardsports.com. Click that like button. Let's go ahead and get started. Tampa Bay Rays at the Chicago Cubs. And this one, Cubs laying $1.62 at FanDuel. You're over-under at 7. Minus 110 both ways in this one. Pitching matchup for the Tampa Bay Rays will be Shane Baz. Baz, 1-4 with a 5 ERA over his last 5 starts. He's never faced the Wrigley Cubbies. And Southpaw Matthew Boyd certainly slowed down a lot over his last 5 starts, was pitching really well, but the last 5 been a little rough. 1-4 with a 4.62 ERA, just not hitting on all cylinders like he was earlier in the year. When these two teams hook up, the under has hit 4 of the last 6 games when these two teams have met in Wrigley. Tampa Bay, 5 straight wins against teams from the National League in interleague play, hitting on that under trend. I just mentioned 4 of the last 6 matchups have went under the total. The under has cashed 4 of the Cubs' last 5 games. It's cashed 6 straight to the under when they play against Tampa Bay head-to-head. The Cubs have also cashed the under 13 of their last 20 at home. So all under all the time. Cubs are in a weird spot. They're in the playoffs pretty much, right? Just a weird spot for them to be in. Tampa Bay is absolutely eliminated at this point. Again, with the $1.62, if it was Boyd earlier in the year, I might go for it. The fact that Boyd hasn't pitched well, just a no play. I'm going to lay off of that one. Again, click that like, hit subscribe. We're here every day. Baseball rundown. Plus, we put out shorts throughout the week for college and pro. There's an early college football one out. Check that out. We break down Clemson, Georgia Tech. Again, these are all based. We do give out some plays. We do sell plays for $1.37 a day, but the main purpose is to help you become a better handicapper so you can learn to handicap, pick your own games. So we just give you quick hitter trends for that. Kansas City Royals will face the Philadelphia Phillies. Michael Lorenzen will get the call for the Royals. Walker Buehler will make his first start for the Phillies. Royals plus 120 on the road at FanDuel, minus 142 for the Phillies, who just got through sweeping, beating up on the Mets. Your over-under is setting at 9, minus 110 both ways. Head-to-head, Philadelphia has taken 7 of the last 10 matchups, including 2 out of 3 last year in Kansas City. Lorenzen, since coming back off his short DL stint, 4-1 with a 3.08 ERA. Has pitched very well as of late in his last 5. Walker Buehler, 3-2 with a 4.07 ERA for him. As far as Kansas City, they were right there in that playoff push and then just did not have a good showing against the Guardians. Bobby Witt has missed some time. The under has been the way to go. Today, that over-under is at 9. Kansas City has went to the under 11 of their last 13 games. Phillies have been red hot, 7-1, straight up their last 8. When these two teams have met, 5 straight have went over the total. 9-1 straight up Phillies are at home. They've just been playing lights out, like I said. Again, over 5 straight games at home against the Royals. But more importantly, when these two teams hook up, 6 straight overall have went to the over. So again, that over-under is something you look at there. As far as laying at the Phillies, you got to be wondering how motivated they are after the Mets. They pretty much eliminated them. It's all a formality right now for the Phillies to win that NL East. But they are just 2 back of the Brewers, so still a little bit of motivation there. If the Phillies can get home field advantage, I've said all year I think they're the team to beat. If they had Wheeler, I think they win the whole World Series. They don't. I think that could cost them there when they get in a long series deep in the playoffs. But I think this Phillies team is the best team in the National League, despite what the records say. and I think they've been that way all year long. Pittsburgh Pirates will face the Washington Nationals in the Toilet Bowl. Pirates will throw out Mitch Helen Keller. Brad, oh my Lord, will get the call for the Washington Nationals. Minus 110 both ways. Your over-under sets at 8. Juice minus 118 to the over by FanDuel. These two teams have matched up for a 4-game setback in April. Pittsburgh took 3 out of 4 from the Washington Nationals. Mitch Keller 1-4 with a 5.84 ERA over his last 5 starts. He faced Washington earlier this year. The only game Washington beat Pittsburgh. Keller went 6 innings, allowing 6 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. Only 3 strikeouts for him. Brad, oh my Lord, 3-2 despite a 7.40 ERA in his last 5 starts has not been very good. Pittsburgh bombed him back on April 14th. He lasted 4 1/3, 6 hits, 4 runs. All of them were earned in that contest. Pittsburgh 4-1 the last 5 against Washington, but 0-6 their last 6 games. The Pirates just doing Pirates things that they've did all year long. Nationals have played a little bit better, but it's been against people like the Miami Marlins that are just as bad as them. But nevertheless, Washington 7-3 their last 10 games overall. They've went to the under 4 of the last 6 games and at their home there in Washington. But the over, when these two teams hooked up, when they've played in Washington, the over is cashed 5 of the last 7 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Again, kind of like the previous 2, maybe some things to look at with the over-under, but nothing that really catches eye that we're going to put a play on like we did the Padres yesterday. So just going to be a pass on these first 3. This next one's going to be a pass as well. You could look at some pitcher props. Not that it's a bad game necessarily. 2 really good pitchers that have been red hot as of late. You got the Baltimore Orioles traveling north of the border to the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays minus $1.34, plus 114 on the comeback at FanDuel for the Baltimore Orioles. You're over under 7.5, minus 115 to the over. Again, 2 really good pitchers in this one. Southpaw Orioles have taken 6 of the last 10. Southpaw Trevor Rogers 5-0 with a 1.62 ERA for the Orioles. He's been absolutely outstanding. Toronto, Chris Bassett didn't start out really well, but has really came on strong. 1-2 with a 2.96 ERA. Now, Rogers hasn't faced the Blue Jays this year. Bassett has faced the Orioles twice. The last one didn't go so well on July 28th. 2 1/3, 7 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned. Only 4 strikeouts, and that was in Toronto. Be interesting if you see the bounce back. I honestly, as much as the Blue Jays are fighting to hold off New York and Boston, I don't think you can step in front of the Orioles with Rogers on the hill. I can't believe I'm saying that, but when a guy's got 1-5 straight and is got a sub-2 ERA, really hard to go against that. Plus, Baltimore's been playing better, a little too much, too late. 8-1 straight up their last 9 games. They've beat Toronto 4 of the last 6. The under has cashed Toronto's last 6 games in a row, and the under has cashed 4 of Toronto's last 5. Again, a couple different things you can look at here. For me, I would lean to the dog, the Orioles or nothing. Again, Break the Board Sports, we run down through, give you betting trends and all for you to help you become a better handicapper. Next game on the docket, Chicago White Sox will visit the Cleveland Guardians. Tanner Bobby gets the call for the Guardians. Martin Perez, southpaw for the White Sox. Guardians laying $1.42. Comeback plus 120 on the White Sox. Your over-under sets at 7.5. Juice slightly to the over, minus 115. They still got you minus 105 on the under. Guardians have taken 8 of the last 10 versus the White Sox. Martin Perez, 2-3 with a 5.11 ERA over his last 5 starts. Tanner Bobby, not really much better, 2-3 with a 5.04 ERA for him. Chicago, 2-12 straight up their last 14 versus the Guardians. But the White Sox, 4-1 straight up their last 5 on the road. They've been playing better. The over is cashed head-to-head for these two teams, 4 of the last 6. Cleveland, 6-1 straight up its last 7. They're playing much better. This is going to be my first give out of the day. going to put this in myself. I'll go ahead and take the Guardians. A little bit of a high price to be backing them, but I'll lay the 142 and see if they continue their dominance. Like we said, 8 of the last 10 meetings have went by way to the Guardians. Next on the docket, the big rivalry, the New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, tied in the wild card, trying to both hunt down the Toronto Blue Jays. Yankees minus $1.22 on the road with Luis Gil, plus 104 on the comeback for Lucas Giolito for the Boston Red Sox. Your over-under sets at 9, split 110 both ways for the Yankees and Gil. Before that, Boston's taken 8 of the last 10, and they had won 8 in a row until the Yankees got them back the end of August. Luis Gil, 3-2 with a 2.02 ERA. He's faced Boston one time this year, 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. Only one of those runs were earned. Boston, Luis Giolito, 4-1 with a 2.10 ERA. He's had one start, 4 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 4 strikeouts for him. Again, the Yankees have been so wildly inconsistent. You saw the Tigers lay a bunch of runs on them, and then the Yankees finally took the last game of the series. Yankees have been playing well as of late. Before that Tigers series, they're 12-5 their last 17. But again, we just talked about 1-8 straight up their last 9 versus Boston. Boston 13-7 and really hitting the ball 13-7 straight up their last 20. The over has cashed 4 of Boston's last 5 games. Listen, Red Sox, even though it's really even money at plus 104, I would take the plus money. The Yankees got to prove it to me that they can consistently beat the Red Sox. They have not been able to do that. And you keep laying all these big prices with the Yankees, and yet today they're laying it on the road. Just not a good situation to get in. Not something I personally would want to hop out there and bet. Again, click that like as we run down through and help you become a better handicapper with some betting trends here. Next game we're going to Texas Rangers. Jacob deGrom makes his return back to Citi Field in the Mets. He'll face John Tong. Mets minus 112. Somehow they're favored. I have no idea how. The dog, though, minus 104 at FanDuel. Again, they get you coming and going both ways. Your over-under sets at 7.5, minus 110 both ways on that one. As far as Jacob deGrom and the Texas Rangers, last year these two teams played a 3-game set. Mets took 2 out of 3. They've split their last 10, but deGrom 2-3 with a 2.21 ERA has been outstanding. Jonah Tong, 4.09 ERA. The fact that the Rangers are the dog, the Rangers have been playing much better baseball. The Mets basically just got eliminated as far as the NL East was concerned, which I think they kind of already knew that, but they're in the fight of their life just to hold off the Giants and the Reds that are both hanging around 2.5 back. Texas 5-1 straight up their last 6. The over has cashed 10 of Texas's last 15 on the road. Mets 0-6, 6-game losing streak here. But when these two teams hook up, 8 of the last 12 have went under the total, but the Mets, 6 of their last 8 at home have went over. So Texas, 10 of the last 15 on the road, over. Mets, 6 of the last 8 at home, over. Your over-under setting at 7.5, a low one, minus 110 both ways. I would look to the over, but I'm definitely going to play deGrom in Texas. Until Texas cools off and the Mets start to win some games and can put more than one in a row together, they just have not played good baseball at all since the break. I got to side with Texas here for sure. Houston Astros visiting the Atlanta Braves. Braves landed R20, plus 102 on the comeback for the Astros at FanDuel. Your over-under sets 8.5. Juice minus 124 to the over there in this one. For the Houston Astros, they're going to send out Jaden Murray for his first major league start. Hurston Waldrop will get the call for the Braves. Youngster 4-1 with a 1.24 ERA in his last 5 starts. No play on this one, but I think you got to look to the Braves. I know Houston's trying to hang on and stave off the Mariners in Texas, but I think both of those teams are going to catch them. I actually think it's not a bad bet. If you take a bet for Houston right now, a prop to miss the playoffs, they just have not played well. 2-5 straight up their last 7. The Braves have went to the under 9 of their last 12 games overall. Again, that over-under sets at 8.5. It's juiced to the over with the 2 young pitchers, but I think you could actually see a little bit of under here show up in this one. St. Louis Cardinals will get the call with the Milwaukee Brewers. Brew Crew, they've cooled off a little bit, but they're going to be laying $1.90 today, plus 160 on the comeback for the St. Louis Cardinals. You're over under 8.5. Now it's actually plus 102 to the over right now. When you dive into this one, they've split the last 10 matchups. This season, though, they've played 6 times. Brewers have taken 4 out of 6. Andre Palante for the Cardinals, 1-4 with a 6.84 ERA. He's made 1 start against the Brewers this year back in June. 4 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, but had 7 strikeouts. Might want to look at his strikeout prop. Quinn Priester, 5-0 in his last 5 starts for the Brewers, a 3.67 ERA. He's faced the Cardinals twice. He's given up 5 runs back in April, but back in June, 6 innings, 4 hits, and only a run. Explains why the Brewers are laying $1.90. That and the Cardinals stink. Cardinals 1-4 straight up their last 5 against Milwaukee. 1-4 straight up their last 5 on the road. Milwaukee, the total has gone under 4 of the last 5 times that these two teams have hooked up. Again, I can't lay that big of a price with the Brewers. I think they've really cooled off, came back down to earth. I actually think the Phillies got a really good shot with about 15 games left to catch them. I think that home field is extremely important for Milwaukee. I don't think it matters for Philadelphia as much as it does matter to Milwaukee. But I think Milwaukee, when they get in the playoffs, definitely going to get exposed here a little bit. Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Minnesota Twins. Twins laying at $1.42, plus 120 on the comeback for the Arizona Diamondbacks. For the Diamondbacks, they're going to send out Brandon Pfaadt, 2-3 with a 5.88 ERA over his last 5 starts. Pablo Lopez, he gets the start. His last one off the DL, September 5th. Very impressive against the Royals. 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts. He's 3-2 with a 2.93. For me, I would look to the Twins, but I can't lay $1.42. Arizona's still kind of hanging around the wild card, but nothing crazy. This one's going to be a pass for me. Rockies, Padres. Padres laying 270. Can't touch it. Now, if you wanted to really get frisky, Padres parlayed with the Brewers money line. And let's just type that into the calculator, see what it gets you here. Take out a little bit of football I had in there playing around earlier. So Padres Brewers parlay get you plus 109. Not bad value there. Colorado 0-6 its last 6 games, 2-8 its last 10 versus San Diego, 0-5 the last 5 at San Diego. San Diego 4-2 its last 6 games at home. Padres are just an erratic team. Had them the past 2 nights, but 2 nights ago they had that lead and the bullpen blew it to the Reds. Speaking of the Reds, let's go to them. They're the next game on the board. The Oakland A's are laying $1.24 at FanDuel to the Cincinnati Reds, plus 106 on the comeback for the Reds. Ginn will get the start for the A's. Brady Singer will get the start for the Reds. Singer 5-0 with a 1.80 ERA. JT Ginn 3-2 with a 6.26 ERA over his last 5 starts. The Cincinnati Reds 4-1 straight up their last 5. Cincinnati has ticked to the under. They've had problems scoring all year. 5 of the last 6. A's 4-8 straight up their last 12 overall, and 1-5 straight up their last 6 at home. But when these two teams hook up, the over is cashed for the last 6 games. My best play of the day, I'm going to ride the Cincinnati Reds plus 106 for a double unit play. So we're going to put the Cincinnati Reds for a double unit play along with the Cleveland Guardians, a single unit play. And I'm going to go ahead and take a stab with that Brewers Padres parlay and see where that gets us. Los Angeles Angels will visit the Seattle Mariners. Mariners, again, trying to run down the Houston Astros. They're right there. They got a shot. Now, this year, 6 of 10 have went to the Mariners. Kikuchi gets the call for the Angels. Again, always excuse my pups. Click that like. 1-4 with a 9.13. Kikuchi's got blown up, but so has Luis Castillo. 2-3 with a 7.83 over his last 5 starts. Mariners 6-game winning streak, 5 of those at home. The under is cashed 4 of the last 6 times these two teams have hooked up. Seattle 8-3 over the last 11 games head-to-head with the Angels. The under, we talked about that, 4 of the last 6 head-to-head have cashed to the under. 6 of the Angels' last 8 games overall have cashed to the under. That over-under sets at 7.5. Mariners laying a steep price with Castillo. Too steep for me. Minus 190. Angels plus 160. You saw yesterday the Mariners just had to get the extra innings to even survive. I'm not playing this game, but if I was, I think you got to take a flyer on the Angels. I know the Mariners are finding ways to win, but I can't lay $1.90, not with Castillo. He's been their worst pitcher as of late, him and Miller. The game of the night, and the game, you can make the argument Yankees, Red Sox, but another rivalry that's just as big doesn't get talked about, the Dodgers and the Giants. Dodgers 4-1 straight up their last 5, 4-1 straight up their last 5 versus San Francisco, but the Dodgers 1-5 straight up their last 6 on the road. They've struggled. San Francisco has been on absolute tear. Rafael Devers and company are starting to hit the ball all over the yard since trading Yastrzemski and some other guys away. The over 13-6 the last 19 times these teams have played, 13 of those to the over the last 19. Giants 13-4 straight up their last 17 games overall. Yamamoto gets the call for the Dodgers, laying $1.58 on the road. High price. Plus 134 on the comeback for Justin Verlander. Your over-under sets at 7.5. Juice minus 122 to the over. Now, these two teams have played 6 times. Again, the Dodgers have taken 4 of those and 7 of the last 10. Yamamoto in his last 5 starts, 2-3 with a 3.51 ERA. He has 2 starts against the Giants this year, 1-1, lost 1. The one he won was in July, 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts. Looked sharp. Not so good back in June, though. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs, only 4 strikeouts for him in that one. Justin Verlander started off as one of the worst pitchers. Everybody left him for dead. Past 5 starts, 2-3, but a 2.54 ERA. He has not faced the Dodgers this year. Call me a sucker. I'm going to roll the dice. Give me the Giants plus $1.34. I got a team. Now, the Dodgers are trying to hold off the Padres, but the Giants have just been hot. The fact I'm getting plus $1.34. We just talked about the Dodgers are 1-5 straight up their last 6 on the road. Just not good value there. So I'm going to go with the Giants at plus money, the Reds at plus money, the Padres Brewers parlay at plus money, and the Guardians laying $1.42. Again, click that like, hit subscribe. If you want this weekend's college football plays, go to breaktheboardsports.com. You can get $1.37 for 365 days a year, all plays or all sports, or just sign up for football for a month or a week. Different packages there. But more importantly, go to that notes blog section, check out our NFL games, print those off. Helps you become a better handicapper. Again, Break the Board Sports is about helping people become better handicappers. Yes, we give out picks, but that's not really the goal. The goal is helping people become better handicappers. Again, I'm your host, RJ Cash. Give this a like. God bless and happy handicapping.